listening to Shut Up and Invest.
Man, what's up? Welcome once again to another episode of Shut Up and Invest. And I am already calling it from the start. This is going to be my favorite episode. And the reason why...
I'm a little scared.
I got the co-host with the most, J Money.
What's up, Kevin, man? How you doing, man? This been a good week?
Let's not talk about the week, bro. Let's talk about what we got going on today.
Let's see what we got going on today. What we got today, Kevin? Let us know. Introduce our guests and let's see what we got going on.
We got J Money's better half on the show.
Thank you.
We got the wifey.
Definitely better half.
My objective is to make sure we keep in our neutral corners this episode. But actually, today we're going to break down the married hustle, which is you guys. And we got Jackie here to make sure J Money stays truthful about the situation versus the single hustle, which is on my side of the fence over here. So we have the lovely Jackie. How you doing,
Hello.
Jackie?
I'm nervous.
Welcome to Shut Up and Invest, girl. You were
Nervous.
like...
It's me and it's Kevin,
I'm
you know?
nervous. That's okay.
Just so you guys know, Jackie designed all this.
And I don't like cameras, just so you know.
So don't
You
even
won't
look
see
at
a lot of me. But
You don't even look at us, so don't worry about the camera.
okay.
But Jackie did design most of the stuff.
Yeah, we got to give you credit.
So we'll get into her little interior design background that she has.
Well,
A little makeshift interior design background.
And the renovation stories, because Jay's told us some of the stories of the renovations and the chocolate paint on tile and all that good stuff.
yes.
So we'll get into all that. But the objective of the show is there's a lot of people out there that have that support system at the house, and you guys have 5 kids, and we'll get into all that. And then the other side of the fence is someone who's say, up all night and doesn't have to worry about anything, and that's kind of my world.
He's still up all night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you don't get pissed?
No,
You
no,
know, say,
because
"Get to bed."
he'll come into bed with me, let me fall asleep, and then he'll go work.
Guys, you hear that? That's hold on.
One of the keys to a successful marriage.
This is gonna be more marriage counseling and investment for you guys, but listen to that.
But that's
right?
going to be clutch. So
Yeah.
you make sure she's good before you go back and put the long hours.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I got my little routine where I'm working all day. Then if it's football season, I go to football till about 6:30. I come home, and like that 7 to like 9:30 window is with the girls and with Jackie. Then when she falls asleep, I go downstairs. Like usually she falls asleep first.
Yeah.
Then I head downstairs. It used to be at first I would go downstairs and play Madden when we first were married.
Yeah, that didn't last very long.
Now I'm just down there working.
No excuse for it to be tired from the video game, but if you're tired from working, how can I get mad?
So you never let the hustle ever bother you whatsoever?
Oh, of course I do.
Yeah.
I would be lying.
Can you get off that
Anybody would be
phone?
lying. The phone is what's probably the most, but it's not an argument. I basically tease him because he doesn't think it's happening, but it's happening. But like I said, I can't be angry. I get to stay home. So yeah.
Yeah. You give them a little bit of jobs, but then you also say
Right.
this is the reason why we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Now,
And
when
it wasn't always that way though.
No?
Trust me. No. In the beginning.
No, we taught. She worked.
No, in the beginning,
A lot.
before you make any money.
Oh,
it's-
yeah, in the beginning.
It's well, first we all know this is a risk. This isn't like a job for the
week.
no, not at all. Because there's no, until we have enough properties bringing in residual income where we know, okay, at least we have this amount every month coming in. I have no idea. But I have all the trust and faith in him that I believe in what he's doing. And I've watched us do great. I've watched it. We've failed. So, I mean, it's not an easy road, but if you just stick to, with it and don't let the mistakes ruin you,
Right.
then you get to a point where I know it's gonna be good, and I can make it to all my kids' sporting events. I can make it. I can do what I want to be doing.
Right. A life by design. Which I think
Definitely.
is
And it's
really,
what we talked about.
Yeah.
We talked about this nonstop before we even got married. So
Yeah.
We're definitely doing exactly what we said we would do,
Now, when you say when you go to football, let's clarify, you're not going to play Madden downstairs anymore.
No.
Now you're coaching football.
I haven't played Madden in a long time.
I don't remember the
The last
last
time
time
I played,
you
my son beat me, and I was like mad because I never get beat. But it was like 4 years I haven't played the game. He beat me, so yeah, that was a long.
He's a
time
sore
ago.
loser.
Now when I go to football now, it's because I'm coaching football. So I'm actually out there in the sun helping the kids out.
Now, when you see him on the phone 24/7 and making deals happen, how do you keep him in line with also making sure he's spending family time? What's kind of, so you guys have rules or guidelines, or what's kind of the back and forth?
I don't mean to sound like snobby, but I don't have to tell him anything. I really don't. I don't have to. He really is.
It's a compliment.
I know. I'm gonna make your head real big right now because that's not what I'm trying to do.
Week.
He's really he gets up at like 5 a.m.
Okay.
He has his time with God. He has his time to himself. He listens to his motivational stuff. And I think that's the reason the rest of his day goes the way it goes. I mean, he's busy and pulled in many, many different directions. But he's always making time for the family. That thing about coaching too, he's always been coaching one of the boys. So when Austin was in high school, he was coaching Austin, at least, but that was easier because it wasn't his position and the stress level was way lower. And now being the OC and coaching our son, the quarterback. Yeah, no.
It's a lot easier to coach your kid when you don't have to coach him every second of the day.
That, it's been fun, but it's also been
stressful,
strenuous, and if it's a loss, the rest of the weekend sucks really bad because then on Saturday, Michigan loses. And then on Sunday, the Steelers lose.
Hey, that doesn't happen all the time.
And the two of them have like these breakdowns over this. And I'm just like, forget it. I'm going to the pool.
Let's clarify that Michigan used to lose. Okay. The Steelers lose. But that trifecta weekend when all three lose,
it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That's painful.
Stay away from
they're both.
Stay away from the house.
I don't break down no more though. I'm good.
No, he's a lot better.
I'm good. My mom called me. She said, "You can't keep doing. You got a wife. She's gonna leave you. You can't keep doing this."
I think there was one time, probably we were married, maybe like a year or two, maybe, and the remote went into the wall or across the room, and at that point, I was like, no, we're gonna fix this.
You know what's crazy though, right? So listen,
it was a Michigan game. I'm
her husband. She claims to love me more than anything in the world, right? Michigan loses. And my natural, I'm angry. And then I get yelled at for being angry. I'm like, you just wait 2 hours before you yell at me for being angry. Let me get over this first.
You were born in Pennsylvania. You went to Penn State. Okay. We now live in Miami. At least you could represent the U.
Oh, man.
That, you know.
She makes a very valid point, bro. She makes
and there's so much more swag. So much more.
Now, let me ask you a question. When he loses a deal or when a deal goes bad, is it the same reactions?
No. I don't even know about him.
Really?
Not really. I don't know about the
part
deal.
of the
what
game,
kind of business pillow talk exists between you guys?
Oh, she knows. Now she'll know. Like she'll see a little bit more stress on me because I'm a very less stress person.
I know who he should stop talking to immediately.
Yeah, she does. I will say that she calls it out. Don't deal with that person. And
now, does he listen to me?
I'm growing.
He is. He is growing. That part he's growing.
Are we talking about motivated sellers, joint venture partners, all across the board?
I mean,
you can spot him no matter what.
The first conversation, and when I can hear that other person talking, I'll be like, "Be done. Just be done. You're wasting your time." But he's such a he's like, "I'm gonna get this deal." I have to get this deal, no matter what kind of jerk I'm talking to. I'm gonna get. But I'm like, dude, no.
No, that's 100%. She's called it multiple times.
All those deals.
When she calls them, it's not just the deal, but these are the ones that have me up all night.
Turn into nightmares.
Court cases, all kinds of stuff. She's like, I went until I told you so, but
from day one,
I kind of told you so.
What are you picking up when you're hearing these conversations that maybe he's not hearing from an intuition?
The people are not sane. They're not right up here.
You're hearing the crazy?
Yeah, I'm hearing the crazy. he's hearing cha-ching, I'm hearing, wait, you're wasting your time. And
that's usually how it goes. It's usually a deal like, because I'm not going to waste my time on it, but it's usually a deal that's like, man, if we get this deal, like this is a big deal. She's just like, Jory, I heard the phone call. You already know. You already know what's going to happen. I'm telling you, you can listen to me or not, but I'm telling you, and it tends to always be what, that women's intuition they talk about.
And that's not like it hasn't happened a million times. But it's probably like once a year I'll hear, or a couple times like, he had one person. Now I know not to drop any names.
Please don't even say nothing.
No name dropping. He worked with somebody for quite a while that, unfortunately, they weren't together, like in the same place. But every conversation, I felt like I'm just listening to him be belittled every time. Now I've come to realize I think that person, he's got his own issues. Yeah. But I said for years, this went on for what, 3 or 4 years?
Like 3.
3 years.
Not even 4.
Stop doing anything with this person because he doesn't respect you. Or like when I hear him, but then again, I think he does because I've also heard him the other way. But
he just has bad communication skills.
The moment he stopped dealing with all of that, like you really started working towards this, like what you're doing now,
that's
like
true,
the virtual wholesaling, and like you're doing it, and you're doing it so much better. You know, you don't have that person. Basically, it was a daily phone call of making him like trying to make him feel like incompetent.
Yeah, it was a partnership.
When he knew that he knew exactly what he was.
It was a partnership where the guy was trying to be like a boss, and I'm like, I don't have a boss. Like, we're partners for 50-50.
So I think just being defensive because he's my husband, I just hated to hear somebody talk to him like that. Like, if anybody's going to talk to him like that, but no.
That's the funny thing.
And I'm working on it.
This girl's claws would come out over me. Like, and I'm like, we've been at football games where I had to like come out. I'm the OC. I'm in the booth, right? I'm up top.
Offensive coordinator.
I had to walk down out the booth during offense on the sideline and defense on the field, like, cause she was about to like go in on the sideline. Yeah, so like,
she's gonna be that.
I will give it 100%. Like,
and
cause
like
me,
said,
I'm like, I'm cool. I'm like, check it. I don't care. They don't bother me. But like, she gets defensive and she's ready to go at it.
Like you said, I'm working on it. I'm working on that.
She's called relationships, partnerships, and deals now quite a bit. How much now do you lean into her opinions on what you're doing from the investment side?
No, I do a lot. I mean, we talk about everything. And it's not like I'm doing this. She has no idea. Like, she doesn't know the day-to-day every deal, but like she knows, like if I'm with you doing something, she knew the whole plan. When I'm with my boys in Harrisburg starting that, she knew the whole plan. So it's like before I start something, I'm definitely going to her first because, I'm doing so many things. She'll always tell me, Jory, like, another idea. Here we go. But like she's behind it, but she's like, Jory.
No, I mean that's why we work because we're both dreamers, and I've been in situations in the past where I told somebody that I wanted to do this or that, and people think you're being stupid, shoot you down, but we seem to always figure out a way to make it happen, and I think that's what I love. But I mean, you said something I was going to say.
But I lean on her word for, everything.
Has there ever been a case where she said no and you overrode it?
Okay, yes.
Yes, recently.
Okay. That's a really good question because
this is like
I finally told everybody. I told everybody involved how I felt about
of the business.
Like I just
pulled the trigger. Nobody told me nothing.
I was very, very much against him going into a partnership with two of his best friends from high school. Not because I didn't trust them or think that they could do it, but we started doing this in 2007, and
we had done that before.
We had made some major mistakes, and a couple times it was with people who I wish we wouldn't have done business with them because we no longer have a relationship with them. And these are his boys, like these are. The last thing in the world that I would ever want is for them to have a falling out over a business deal. And so I was very much against it. Like, you better nip this. We're not doing this, No. And then I open up a piece of mail that says Jog Investments. And I knew exactly what it was because I know the initials of all their names. So that day was fun. But now...
Yeah, I had to explain that day. I mean, honestly, like that was one where I was just like, you know what? Because I knew when it worked out, she was going to be all for it. And I also got where she was coming from, like 100%. But I was just like, you know what? Like this... Like, you know, we always talk about I want to do business with my friends, you know, and I was like, I got to make this work. And I told them. We want to
see everybody have the freedom. Like, we have a lot of freedom to do what we want to do. And I think, like, that's the thing. Like, we want to see everybody that we care about be able to do the same thing and be able to pick up and go where they want to go or, you know, just.
But it's hard, though. I mean, we all know. A lot of people say don't do business with friends and family. I mean, it's almost a rule.
But this is so good because they're all doing something different. And they're all good at what they're doing.
You guys are still doing it together?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one I'm doing right now in Harrisburg.
And they're
all
like
PA.
The business started and the like how fast everything started happening was pretty crazy. It was a good thing, but I mean, no, I've talked to all of them and I'm so supportive of it now. I really am. I'm so happy that it's going on and I've watched them and I can tell they're excited. Now, the women in their life, I've been able to at least have a little bit of a conversation. It's scary.
It's so funny though.
It's so scary when you first start out because there's no money at first.
Yeah.
So it's like us. Thing,
it's like you're looking at them like us 13 years ago. And that's what I always do. I'm like, dude, just have Jackie call her. Because, I mean, there was like months where it was like, man, my wife, my girl, she's mad at me right now, right? I'm like, have her call Jackie. And then we'll be like, Jackie, just coax her. Let's walk her through this a little bit, let her know. But, you know, for the significant other, it's not easy, you know, especially like my one boy had a brand new baby. I mean, it was like my story. I'm like, I've been there. You know, like, I told you, we had 2 babies coming. You know, other one was like working a good job. He's still working a job, but he wants to leave his job so bad right now. And it's like, you got to wait till everything's set up. But no, but that's one of the greatest joys we've been doing now. Because like I've literally taught my friends this business from like zero
scratch
up to the top. Now where it's like, you know, now one guy's running marketing, one guy's running construction, and I can kind of like see it coming to the point where it's like they're going to be able to replicate it to people they know too. You know, so that's been
Jackie,
a really good thing.
Give us some insight on, because there's probably couples that are going to be hearing this, and what kind of conversations are you having with the significant others during that venture, friends of yours?
Well, first of all, I'm very honest. This is a risk, you know. It's a risk that you have to be willing to take, and if you're not, you're going to fight. You have to be 100% in on this decision together because it's too much. It is a stressful thing. What is that?
This is?
Money in the bank.
It's money in the bank.
Said something that's money in the bank.
You got to be 100%. Like, it will not work
both
if
be
both
on board.
100%.
So if right now someone's thinking about doing this and their significant other is the naysayer, are we saying that they should wait until they can convince them to be 100% on board?
I think if you want to be with that person, you need to really have a talk. I mean,
you have to have a
stay
plan.
With that person?
Well, here's the thing: you have to have a plan. You have to be able to pay your bills somehow while you're venturing out on this new adventure, I guess. But like with us, fortunately, I was working, and my job paid for our housing, and I was able to do that for a while until he started getting, you know, clients. But even then, it wasn't like there was money coming in.
I told Kevin the story how Andy was born. Like, you had to come home from work. I didn't have my license yet.
Yeah. That situation was that was God. That, you know, and that's how we've gotten to where we are, because we made a decision when we got married that it was going to be God, family, and then, you know, I guess football. But
sounds like we're in Texas all of a sudden.
I mean, that's how we, you know, and then gymnastics and dance and basketball. And
but Jackie, isn't the funny thing real quick, like football, that's another thing too, the coaching thing, another thing where I always tell young coaches, and she'll say the same, if you're married or have a girl, like, it just takes so much time that if your other person isn't with it, it doesn't work out, you know? So like, even
you
with
have
the
to
money,
have a plan. You can't just say, oh, we're going to go get in real estate, but nobody has a job, or no, you know, it's hard work at first, because I was so pregnant and I worked in the operating room and my belly's out to here. I'd be sweating. I'd be feeling like I was going to pass out, and I could not wait to not be doing that anymore. And even when I wasn't pregnant, I got to see a lot of really really cool things, and I got to travel to a lot of cool places and work in different facilities. But it wasn't a passion of mine. It was something to get us through, and get us to where we needed to be. And so,
I mean, every time we've ever had like a.
But let me say this: if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna be the woman who's working full time, he made dinner every day. He did laundry. It wasn't me going to work and having to do all that. It has to be a 50-50 thing.
Partnership. He's
so like our kids, they're like, I don't want to say that. I'll make myself look real bad. It's never a thing to come to either one of us. Dad will do, he's really hands-on with parenting. And so there's so many factors to it. So if you're going to do this and you have kids, you better sit down and make out a plan and stick to it and follow it, and don't veer off, because then you'll argue, then you'll fight. But I'm not going to lie, it was stressful when I was home because money was not coming in. We had a little bit to make it to.
You mean when the first at the beginning?
Like when we first got the house refinanced.
The story with the paint.
You got to hear that episode.
Yeah, you guys know about the house.
You got to hear Jay's story.
It's an incredible story. I don't know if you told him about the part where I was in the shower. Like I was in the shower that day crying.
Oh, about
crying because I knew that my employer they had accidentally said I was terminated rather than
on leave
or in between assignments. So the bank was like, oh, no, you can't get a loan. And that wasn't the situation. So I was like, we're done. Like, I don't even know what we're going to do now. But I just was in the shower and I started praying and praying and praying. And I was in the shower when you told me, like, I was praying about it. Like, God, I don't know how we're going to work this out because I have no proof of income. He has no proof of income. I don't know how you were going to work this out, but I need a miracle. And he came and he knocked on the door and he was like, Jackie. I was like, yeah. And he's like, they just approved our loan. I just fell. I was like, tears were like flowing.
That's what I always say. When I need something, I'm like, Jackie, you pray? Because, dude, every time this woman prays hard, boom, like that, something happens.
It was crazy. Yeah. And then from that day on, everything was good. It was exciting. Yes, money was tight, but we lived very, we had a paid for vehicle that fell apart.
Tell me about the car, the first open house I did. The van that would just stop driving in the middle of the road.
Yes. No, you'd be going, you would be flying down the highway. And just stop.
Like, what
and then you're like, okay, do I throw it in? I don't know what to do. And, we live in Michigan and it's cold and icy. And it's like, no, we didn't.
We had to remember the Nintendo trick we were just talking about with the camera? I figured out what to do. You had to do something with the key. And
I don't know, but it was
it would coast for a little bit and turn back on. Like, this is us with 4 kids, 2 babies. And I'm showing open house and I get stuck in the boondocks. I'm like, Jackie, there's no street lights. I don't like being where there's no street lights at. Like, you don't hear from me again. This is before GPS and all that other stuff. You don't hear from me again.
Yeah, no, we definitely
with a bunch of bars.
All my girls, all their clothes at the time, that was all from garage sales. We lived very.
All for the dream.
We did. I think he must have told you. We moved in a house that had no walls upstairs. Or no, it had a wall, but my cousins.
First renovation?
My cousins, let me put that out there. I love you guys. One of them tapped on the plaster and the whole wall shattered.
And there was exposed wire. And that's the thing though, like that. I'm not saying average, but a lot of wives wouldn't be able to see the vision in the house, first of all, or
I love before and afters too.
Yeah,
so I was excited to see what it was going to look like.
To agree to do that. Like, I got kids, like my kids are moving this house. That's what a lot of wives say. But she was like, and because me and Jackie, when we got in real estate, it was like I was reading while she was working, but she had the passion to do the same thing. Like when I met her, she had plans for a house that she was going to build. And I'm like promoting nightclubs, and she's showing me, like, believe me, I was the young, and was like she saved me. I was a young kid on South Beach, like with 3 of us in like a studio apartment, 24 years old. She had the
one
job.
Of them used the closet for the bedroom. Yeah,
she had the stable housing, and so I'm like, oh, so it wasn't that like she saved me and got me to where I needed to be so that we could be where we're at today. And that's the most amazing thing about the
Am
whole
I getting
story,
red?
you know?
You're making me blush. I feel like I'm getting red.
Man, I thought we were gonna have fights today. Man. You gotta
That
go home
happened
and make
before
a six
we
baby.
did all that before we walked in the door.
No.
Now,
Yeah.
your first real project, you guys were just lightly talking about it. And if you hear Jay's story in the other episode, you guys took on this fixer-upper and decided to live in it while you renovated it.
Yeah.
And that's technically the first official investment that you guys
Yep.
made together.
Yeah.
Talk me through that decision. Who saw it first? Who had the vision? Were there any fights about it? Or were you
No.
guys...
Remember,
gung-ho?
we went through and saw a bunch
We saw
of
a
houses.
ton of homes.
And that one, we both knew it immediately. Like,
And
that
the house was
it.
like, this
It
was like an
wasn't
old,
bad.
it was an old farmhouse though. Like it was like it was the oldest house in that whole block, an old farmhouse. But to us, it was like, we just wanted the house in a decent
It was
neighborhood
a great
for the kids.
house. It had, those old characteristics
It
of the
did.
big floorboards and
The big molding.
the molding. The hardwood floors. It had character, and it could be really cute.
In the neighborhood, the street was a dead end street. And we had
And it went right to a
to
school.
the school. So it was like, that made up for it. But I mean, we were doing that whole search. Like we were 100% together. Like we're going to get this
Yeah.
house. We're going to rehab this house. We're going to refinance it. She was already pregnant. We're going to refinance it. Get like I said, 25 grand, hopefully. Take that out to refinance. Go find something else. Like in my life. Like we had a whole plan. It wasn't like we just did it.
Yeah.
We were 100% in
And
lock
when
and
you
step.
saw it, you both... Because I wanted to talk through the
You probably liked
logistics
it
because there's
first.
people...
I'm
No,
sure.
I
probably
Let me
think-
make it
going through
clear. So let me make it clear. I'm the guy who like all I care about is numbers.
Okay.
So I guarantee she liked the house, first because like there were other houses. Like remember the one house that we found out was in a lot rougher neighborhood, but it was like 40 grand. Like this is the house, like 40 grand.
And
And then you're like, I don't know. And then our agent Sherry called us back and said, well, that neighborhood's kind of. She didn't
Yeah.
say that because you can't, but
Yeah, and then there was the one right across from the cemetery.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to live there.
But to me, it was
I
like,
just didn't want
Jackie,
to.
like 35 grand. Like, come on.
Yeah, no.
But I already knew that wasn't the house. But the house that we saw, I'm sure she was like, this one looks nice. And I totally agree with her.
I
It
don't.
did.
Yeah, I don't remember getting in any arguments while we were out looking because I think we were
where
so
did the
excited.
arguments come?
I don't know.
Probably like I'll tell you the arguing. Probably the worst arguing we ever did when this first started was when he would be gone so much and wasn't bringing anything in, and I was not working. I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that we were going to eat the next week and like those things. I was like, okay. But it was faith, and it was faith,
And
first.
ramen noodles.
Oh, we've had those times. We've had ramen noodles,
Yo,
peanut butter and
Vienna
jelly.
sausages, man, with hot sauce and crackers are amazing in those times.
Yeah, not for me, but
They don't eat them, but
I don't like
if you
them.
come where I come from, you know about Vienna
oh no,
sausage.
they're around. I just don't like them. That was hard. Like,
And then tell them, like, we got the loan. It was like a definitely subprime arm. Like, there was no way we should have even got. Well, we probably should get the loan. You have been working for a while, but we got that loan, and then they refinanced that loan with again no income, and then the market like tanked.
and plus we had. I'm hot. Sorry. We had. What did we do? We did do like we worked on our credit too. Also before like.
Yes, I did
any
the
of
whole.
that.
I did the whole credit repair thing where I got all the stuff taken off, and yeah, we did.
Yeah.
No, we were like I said. I was reading books for probably 2 years about just real estate. Ask you. I would
Yeah.
just come home when I worked at the Pepsi warehouse in Marquette. I told you, but I would come home every day, read books. And then when we moved to Grand Rapids, she was working, so I would read books all day and take
Yeah.
care of our daughter Italia in between. Like she'd wake up, I take care of her. She'd go to sleep, reading books,
That's like
reading books.
you're like probably one of the most self-taught people I know. Like he is very good about opening up a book and learning how to do things on his own.
Right.
Like not by anybody else, but just yeah. And that's probably that was great, especially going in. I'm sure he's shared the story about Mike, like going in and working for Mike, who didn't want to hire him.
Yeah.
He didn't want to hire him, and I was like, "Babe, you just need to call him and
See,
tell
that's
him."
That's exactly how
Because I knew he could do it. Because I'd watched him for 2 years just do nothing but study, and like
I came home like, man, you don't even want to hire me.
Now, let's go back to that real quick, and then I want to go into who handles the budgeting for projects and stuff. But in that moment, that's gonna be a good one. In that moment when you see him studying for 2 years and isn't necessarily implementing from other people that are in this situation, and they're being supportive, and they're holding it down for the other person. What's your mindset when you're seeing that in that moment?
I think, because I could see our plan working, I had a good, I felt good about everything. But like I said, he didn't, he did everything that I would have been doing if I was home. So it wasn't like.
He was being lazy about it.
No. I never came home to a dirty house. I never came home to dishes in the sink. It was a true partnership. It was a true partnership. And he knew, that job, especially being pregnant, I'm on my feet all day long. And sometimes if it was an orthopedic case, I'd be holding a leg in a certain position. It was strenuous.
Now, flip side that you're home and he's out there bringing home the bacon. You come home to a dirty house, bro?
There's a lot of kids in my house.
Listen, if I do, believe me, I go your kids. Because all our kids can hold their own weight, and we have a lot more kids now.
It's lived in. I'm going to just say that.
I'm like, Jay,
I don't like dirt. Like, I don't like... like the unsanitary part, that kind of stuff. We're good about that. But is there toys on the floor?
There's a toy. There's
is
a
there
shoe.
Sock on the floor? Mismatched socks. So
yeah,
probably if you walk into my house, you'll think it's lived in.
Hilarious. Now let's go to renovation budgets, because I know you're the interior decorator.
Yeah.
So that's the great thing,
because the thing that made it so good about us when we started doing the flips, because that was after we got into this, we started doing flips a lot, was like she had this dream of interior decorating homes, and I have no. She even asked me, and I'm actually better now. Like I can pick out some colors, but she would ask me, Jackie, I don't know, the gray. I'd be like shoes and shirts. Like I would match it by my shoes and shirts, the gray and black. That's Charles Woodson's jersey. That works, But she had an amazing eye for designing, so that's why we worked so easy, because I didn't want any parts of that.
Yeah.
And
if I tried to input, Jory, get out.
Stay in your lane, son.
Yeah. Honestly, the only house that I ever did to my liking, where I really loved it, was ours. But because
what happened to the budget on that house?
Well, that went out the window. I don't know what happened.
Oh, so how do you guys handle that? Because that, I think, is a lot of clashes in relationships.
Well, this was our personal house, first of all.
That was our personal house.
And we started with I would have the budget, the sheets, this is flooring. This is, Jackie, how many square feet? This is all we're going to pay. She'd be like, yeah, okay. She knew she had some overages, but our personal house, the one that we sold down here, it was the point. I was like, Jackie, she goes, well, what's my budget for the bathroom? I go, you blew your budget 2 weeks ago.
Downstairs before we even got upstairs.
Just make the house you want, So that was good. She made the sickest house, I've ever been in.
That's the house you guys showed me the pictures of the other night?
Yeah, the one we sold.
Yeah, that was sick. So let's talk about that. You guys were in a sick house up in Michigan.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you say, let's move to Miami. Because you guys have
we always planned on, we always planned on moving to Miami. From the day we met, since we knew we were going to be together, we always knew we were going to come back.
Right. So the mindset of, technically, based off the pictures I saw, you downsized.
We downsized,
absolutely. Yeah.
We downsized.
But we knew that.
Miami.
We downsized, but we always said that we'd rather be here with the weather.
Yeah.
Be outside. I mean, we'd rather live a 2-bedroom condo here outside with the weather.
Yeah.
We live up there in a 5,000 square foot mansion, which the house wasn't that big, but
it's the weather. I mean, just last week, my mom, my cousins were sending us video of a snowstorm. I just
you do not miss that whatsoever.
I miss my family. I miss friends, but I do not miss that, climate. And even when people have said, "Oh, do you miss your house?" I don't miss my house. Because I love the fact that we can be out, and I love opening up the door in January and it's warm outside.
Degrees,
I love
now,
that.
our kids, on the other hand, because they grew up in this house,
are not the littlest one. The two middle ones.
There's no there's basements there's no basement, Daddy. Where's the basement? I'm like, we're in Miami. There's no basements in Miami. Like, go outside. You have all that land out there every day of the week you want to, you know? They miss it, but no,
They miss the fact, like, they had it pretty sweet. We lived on a cul-de-sac. There was like 14 little girls. I mean, there was a lot of kids, and it was a safe place for them to they'd all go out and play. And that was a great thing. And we were very fortunate to live where we lived there while we were there. But we knew from the beginning, we were coming back. We knew we would downsize. We weren't really sure when it was going to happen. And then we realized with Austin, he was doing so good and he was going to graduate. And we did.
Set a date for his graduation.
We set a date, and then we knew as soon as he graduated.
He left a week after his graduation, right?
Like 2 days after his graduation party, I think. Yeah.
So you're not married to not only the house you were in, but you guys don't get tied up or emotionally tied up in any of the renovations or anything? For the business deals?
Houses that we did? No. Was there any houses that we... I mean, there was like one or two homes that we really liked a lot.
So that one little one that we put the marble, I think, or whatever, that I thought was really cute. I never got attached to any house that we were doing.
Is that the one that we had
negotiating and whatnot? No big deal.
I didn't have anything to do with that kind of, like I really don't.
She doesn't.
I have no idea. I can't. I can't look at a number without my brain just like scrambling. So I
mean, that's a good point. That's where I was trying to get at. You stick to making it look the way it needs to look.
100%.
And then you're out.
Yeah, I'm not good with numbers. It's just...
I even try to talk to her about the numbers. She's like, Jory.
Whatever you want.
I don't want to talk about that. Like, I trust you. I don't want to hear numbers in my head right now.
I mean, we talk about everything. So I know what's going on. I wish I could take on more just to ease up, like him not have to worry so much about things. There are things I will take over eventually.
No, but just the real estate stuff I'm talking about.
The real estate stuff, as far as that goes, no. I have nothing to do with any of the negotiating or anything like that. But I haven't done a rehab like for somebody, really. I was doing them for investors, for rental properties. And then I did a few flips, right? Mm-hmm. There was like 3 or 4. That stuff was fun for me. When we got into me having to do the rentals and the investors, and I get where they're coming from. They want to have the same color paint for every house. They want to have the same... Well, for me, like,
that wasn't
but
fun.
that doesn't fit in every single house. Or like, I started to feel not good about the product, and I was like, I don't want my name on anything that I don't like. So at that point, I kind of stepped away from doing any of it. Plus, I think shortly after that, decided to go to Hawaii for like 5 months. Well, I did, but he came too.
Yes, went to Hawaii.
I didn't want to. I wasn't enjoying myself in that part of it. And we are also going through things with some of those investors.
Well, that was one of the people that she said not
to deal with.
Well, was it? No.
Initially I said not to.
But then
But then there was...
your initial thought was no.
Yeah, the initial thought with a particular person.
And then we should have just said no in the beginning. So.
Yeah, because that got us into a very scary situation that, I didn't know how to handle. And even though my name wasn't on anything, I don't think my name was actually on anything, was it? I don't know.
This is not I don't know.
I don't know. This was so long ago, I know, but that's when I stopped doing that kind of stuff.
And now let's fast forward to the future. Now, what are some of the conversations that you guys have now that proven, tried and true, real estate has really given you guys a life that you currently have right now? Now, what do you guys talk about together as far as the future?
We holding on to things, that's for sure. Not getting scared when the market crashes to just let go of our properties or anything like that. And we talk about just wanting to rehab not just a house, but a neighborhood. That's kind of like a big conversation we have often, like the being in the next steps of, let's see how many houses, not necessarily here, but in different neighborhoods.
Well, like in Harrisburg right now, we're trying to buy everything we can. It's one little block. And
then improving it. And improving the neighborhood. And it's like kind of doing things on a bigger scale.
We talked about moving to Jamaica today.
I said Puerto Rico.
Oh, Puerto Rico. Sorry, but we
Either
talk
or.
about that.
I mean, I'll do either.
You're in Puerto Rico. You're
I mean,
there for 6 months. You get
we
the tax
homeschool. Isaac's about to graduate. We homeschool Italia, although she can't go anywhere during the. Yeah, well, maybe her coach would let her move in. She'd probably let her move in. The other one is
Indy's homeschool right now.
well, right now. Then she'll, but then with Stella, we both talk about it, like, why not? Then we can travel and do whatever we want and not worry about her having
basically
to be.
when they're all gone and the one that we still like right now, Stella's left. We're gonna just go
That
where
you
we
still
want.
like. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Stella. No.
I love you, Stella. You know that. But yeah, I mean, listen, we're still. This girl's a dreamer, which is what I love. Like I told you, she said we're going to Hawaii. I'm just like, shit, okay, whatever, we'll go to Hawaii. And like literally 2 days later, we're going to Hawaii in a week. I'm just like, Jackie, like we have a business and then we have a house, and she's like, yeah, but you're stressed out right now. Let's go to Hawaii. And I was like, cool. And that rejuvenated me so much, and I needed that in my life, to kind of press reset and start all over again. But I would have never thought about that. So a lot of stuff we do is because she's, dreaming about it.
Now the cool thing is that these goals are actually very possible, and they'll become reality because of the virtual nature of the business.
Exactly.
Which is what a lot of people, I think, they get so stuck on just being boots on the ground in their own markets, and then they can't walk away from their houses.
Yeah.
Or they can't say, let's do Puerto Rico or Hawaii or whatnot. And those are things that you guys have proven that you can do.
Yeah.
I think
Which is
not
why
even knowing
my
that.
happy self is going to Colombia for 3
Hey,
months.
listen,
at the
we're
end
going
of
to be
the-
down there for. He's going to Colombia. We're going with him.
Okay.
Not for 3
As
months. but
that
we're
works out. I
How
think
about
we'll
a
do
month?
6 months.
Can we go for a month?
going. You going in summer or
No,
the fall?
leave in November and come back in January.
Nice.
If we get done. We
That's
probably
nice.
if we make the playoffs, we'll be done by December. So we'll be down there. We come
Come
down there.
say what's up.
Yeah.
And
So,
then,
but no, that's. I mean,
Well,
I mean, the
I have a
difference too.
passport. I don't know about you, but
Jeez.
put it on blast.
What I get today though? What I get today? This just happened today. What I get?
after almost 3 years, Jory got his Florida driver's license.
Hey,
Yeah.
welcome to the state. Welcome to the state.
Dude, she hated that so much.
If you guys had to tell a newbie couple out there that are having these type of conversations, one big thing, like what's the takeaway?
Be in agreement with everything. Like, make sure it's agreed upon.
Yeah, like don't be your own person. Like this.
But at the same time, listen to the other person's dreams. Listen to what they want to do. You know, make sure you're hearing them. And you know, his dreams and stuff. Like, to me, he's always been trying to help somebody. Always, like, with coaching or no matter what. Like, his passion is teaching other people to be successful. And so if your spouse has that, I'm going to be honest, I don't have a passion like that. My passion in life right now is my kids. So I'm happy I can do that. But I see what he has a passion for something, and it's incredible. And I don't want to ever be that person to, you know, take that flame out where, like, I'm happy. I'm content with the fact that I can be mom and he can fulfill those dreams. And because I also know he's doing something to better other people's lives. And that's, I think, what we're supposed to be doing.
And another thing though, but like, yeah, definitely. But Jackie's passion, like she said, she doesn't have a passion for that, but she actually does. Like, this girl has the biggest heart for people, you know, I've ever seen in my life. Like, I coach football. Every kid I've ever coached will tell you that's like their second mom. You know, like, I mean, you don't know the kids that she's like. She said, we're going to check her money. Hey, I need to go buy this kid, you know, furniture for the whole house or stuff like that. And she just does that. No one knows she does it, but like, she has a heart for people in general. And I think that's the key to both of us. Like, you know, God's in the marriage, anything, God's in the middle. You know, so if God ordains it and blesses it, then it'll be blessed, is what we believe. We've always put him first. And because of that, you know, everything else is blessed after it. You know, but like, her heart for everything matches my heart. Now, outside of the heart thing, I mean, we're totally different. You know what I'm saying? But
We
like,
are.
our hearts have the same goal. It's just to help other people, you know? I mean, she's nice to people, not to me, but she's really nice to other people.
You go from praising me to just putting me down now. Yeah. No, we're totally different. I have a very bad temper. He is very chill.
Now
Yeah.
that's the word of advice. Now, how about in the toughest of times, in the times that you've had to step up, and the times that you guys have, gone through the market crash. Whenever they get to tough times, what do you think is that thing that got you guys through it?
Faith.
I'm gonna say faith.
I would say faith and a lot of prayer. A lot of just.
I think the main thing that like I probably do this more is like because you've been through so many of those, like you got to go through it once,
Yeah.
right, and come out on the other side to realize that we've already been here, right? So like we always remind ourselves. Remember that time when you were in the shower and like we were not gonna get that refinance? And
Yeah,
we
you
got
have
it?
to remind yourself because I'll get upset with myself if I think money's tight or whatever. Like the last thing I ever want to do is get upset about a lack of money. I don't want to.
We don't ever want to fight.
I mean, I'm human. We all, but I don't ever want to fight with him about money. That is something that I mean, and that's like the number one problem in most marriages.
We
is
really do it.
they fight about
money.
finances, money. That's why you have to be on the same page and just
just look at all the times before that you made it.
and do what you can to help your spouse's dream. Just support them. And like I said, if just because you don't have a specific thing you're working on or whatever, that your support is just as important as anything else.
100%. Like I know I couldn't be doing anything right now if she wasn't supportive of it. It would be. I know how I am. I'm just like. I go.
I mean, do I laugh at him a lot with a different idea every day? Yes, but I've also seen a lot of them come through. So
I mean, we'd be clashing every day. So like, the support she gives me is allowing me to be able to just kind of go out and take that risk because I know if it doesn't pan out, I'm not gonna get killed when I come home. I know a lot of people are dealing with somewhere where it might be like if I fail,
how am I gonna look at my wife?
I'm gonna look to my wife or to my husband, or to my kids. It's like if I fail. Okay, Joy, you failed. Let's go do, let's get back up, do it again. Let's figure it out because we've done it before, man. So, like, having that in the back of my head, I got no fear to go out and do what I feel
now,
like
when he's late after coaching football, he's afraid to come home. He gets a little fear in him.
Well, no, I don't. Yeah, I fear God in this one right here. Besides that, nothing else fear me.
I don't know. I just, you get used to it. And you'll learn, too, that when Jory says 10 minutes, add about 30.
Well, Jackie, we were late today because of you.
No.
There was a car crash.
There was 2 car crashes, actually.
Yeah, but I was in the car waiting for you.
I think we're good, man. I think that's a show
right
there.
So hopefully
I think any married couple out there
give Kevin some advice today.
Can take yeah, man. Listen, it's a different hustle with me, right? I don't have to worry about someone else's opinion, but at the same time, I don't have that support. I'm out there, the Lone Ranger.
I think one good thing too, we talked about doing this often. We were just kind of like, next time come on and, because there's both. There's married couples, there's single couples, there's, almost married. And like, our stories are diverse, but they can help out a lot of different people,
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm not married because too many people have an issue with the phone thing.
Yeah, he has an issue with the phone thing too, and I barely pick mine up. People be like,
I won't even lie, I get mad when I have that little hour. And so I'm like, don't you picked up your phone? I'm like,
he does.
I made myself available to you.
Quality time.
I know. I'll just be like,
and then she's like, boy, don't you? I'm like, yeah, I get you. Right. I can't say a word to you right now.
You're like having dinner with one hand up in the air the whole time.
And I don't carry my phone everywhere too, so he'll call me, and I had left it upstairs in the bedroom, and be like, "I'm calling you, woman," and I'm like, "Babe, I just don't carry it around, and I'm just not attached to it. That I wouldn't even have a phone if I didn't need one.
Yeah,
I really. But
real estate is a whole different monster.
You have to know, and I know that. That's money.
Yeah, it's different. I mean,
Your
we're in
phone, that's, I guess, okay, a good word of advice to the women, their phone is money.
Yeah, ladies, you hear that? Stop messing with my phone.
Yeah.
All right, before I get myself in trouble, I think we got to call this show already. We good?
I think we're good. That was awesome. I want to thank my beautiful guest for coming on here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime, whenever we got to put Jay out in blast.
Yeah.
Make sure we'll bring you out.
I'm going to start taking little clips from Friday night games when he's jumping up and down and trying to hold his pants up at the same time.
No.
I'm going to bring them in. You guys can post little clips here. And
Kevin,
there.
I'm a different person when I'm coaching football. Like, it's like an
there.
out of body
Season
experience. So like, I don't. I'm in the press box now, though.
You're in the press box, but everybody in the world can hear you. We'll be walking up to the game. The girls are like, "Oh, I just heard Daddy."
Well, listen, if you guys want Jay to coach you or even Miss Jay to coach you, for the ladies out there, go to shutupandinvest.com. And guys, we appreciate you spending some time with us today.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Shut up and invest. Get out there and do it. Hey, thank you once again for listening to Shut Up and Invest. If you guys are motivated at the thought of continuing your real estate journey with us, then visit shutupandinvest.com. There you can join our community and take advantage of more free resources. And don't forget, please like, comment, and subscribe to this podcast so you're first to hear our new content every week. Most importantly, get active and don't forget to shut up and invest.